My friend tried to set me up with his neighbors. It ended with me running away. Never again. Okay, so I have to share this because I'm still trying to decompress from the sheer level of social awkwardness I was subjected to yesterday. I think my soul is permanently bruised. So picture this. It's a gorgeous afternoon, the kind we rarely get. So I'm out for a walk. I've got my headphones in, volume cranked up. Just vibing, you know? I'm in my own little cinematic universe, probably walking a little too dramatically to the beat, not a care in the world. As I'm passing this one particular stretch of apartment buildings, I catch a flicker of movement and hear a super faint, "Yo, Gabe!" Pull my headphones off, the music cutting out abruptly, and there's my friend Trey, waving me over from the patio area in front of his place. Trey's a great guy, but he's particular. He's got this weird quirk where he's like the self-appointed fashion police for our friend group. It's his thing. So I wander over. We do the usual, "Hey man, what's up?" dance. And then, right on cue, he gets this focused look in his eye. He says, "Hold on, let me get you spiffed up," and reaches out to straighten the collar on my jacket. I just let it happen. It's like a toll you pay for hanging out with Trey. But this is where the simulation glitches. Without missing a beat, he pats my shoulder and hits me with, "Hey, you want to meet another one of my friends?" Now, in a normal world, I'd have a second to reply. But we were not in a normal world. We were in Trey's world. Before the question mark even fully formed in my brain, he had already turned around and was knocking on the apartment door right next to his. The speed at which that door opened was, in hindsight, suspicious as hell. Like instant. No, who is it? Just click swoosh. A woman I have never seen in my life is standing there, smiling. A second later, her roommate pops up behind her, also smiling. At me. Just beaming. My brain just went into full dial-up modem mode. Trey, meanwhile, is standing there looking like a proud father at a recital. He puffs out his chest, gestures to me, and says to them, loud and proud, "He's looking slick, isn't he?" The cringe that shot through my body was a physical force. I felt my spirit eject from my torso. I must have looked like a possum that just got caught trying to steal a sandwich. My face was frozen in this rictus of, what the hell is happening? That's when the first roommate, the one who opened the door, drops the absolute bombshell. She laughs and says, "Yeah, we've heard a lot about you." My social programming completely short-circuited. I managed this choked, awkward laugh and squeaked out, was it good or bad?" They were nice enough to say, mostly from Trey, "So good." But it didn't matter. The damage was done. I was a specimen in a jar. I have never, in my entire life, wanted the ground to open up and swallow me more than in that moment. I could feel the heat rising in my face. I just stood there in silence for what felt like 3 years, my mind a complete blank. Finally, I managed to mumble something like, "Well, hey, I gotta go," and I executed the most abrupt, awkward exit in human history, practically power walking away while feeling their eyes on my back. So, here's my theory on what that absolute train wreck was. I have a pretty bold, distinct style. I wear a lot of bright colors, weird jackets, that kind of thing. I stand out. I am almost certain these neighbors have seen me walking by before. Probably mentioned me to Trey like, "Who's your colorful friend?" or something. And Trey, in his infinite, misguided wisdom, decided to play the world's most chaotic wingman. The spiffing up was him prepping me for the stage. The instant door answer, the "We've heard about you." It was all a pre-planned social ambush. A meet cute, engineered with all the subtlety of a flashbang. He genuinely thought he was doing me a favor. I know he did. But the execution was so catastrophically awkward that I literally malfunctioned. So yeah, I guess I'm the talk of his neighbor's apartment now. The weirdly dressed guy who can't form a sentence. Thanks a lot, Trey. Okay, so a lot of you asked what happened next with my friend Jackson, the world's worst wingman. Did I confront him? Did I ever see the neighbors again? Yes, and the update is just as weird. So the next day, I'm still replaying the whole cringy ambush in my head. I'm at the grocery store, and I physically flinch every time someone makes eye contact with me. I knew I had to text Jackson. I sent him something simple, like, "Dude, we need to talk." He replies back instantly with laughing emojis, and, "Wasn't that awesome?" Awesome. He thought that soul-leaving my body experience was awesome. I wrote back, "No, it was not awesome. It was the most awkward thing ever. You basically served me up on a platter. What was that?" So he calls me, and he is genuinely 100% confused about why I'm freaking out. He's like, dude, I was setting you up for a win. It was a power move. I'm like, a power move? Jackson, I froze and ran away. How is that a power move? And then he lays out his whole ridiculous plan. So, I was right. The neighbors, whose names are Maya and Chloe, had seen me walk by and asked Jackson about me. They apparently said I had a cool vibe. So in Jackson's head, he concocted this whole movie scene. He told me, see, I had to make it seem random. I fixed your collar to make you look sharp. Then I knocked and they were ready. It makes you look important. I was speechless. He thought ambushing me was some kind of 4D chess to make me look cool. He said, and I quote, "We've heard a lot about you" line, that was my idea. It adds mystery. I just started laughing. It was so unbelievably dumb that I couldn't even be mad anymore. I told him, man, you cannot do stuff like that. You made me look like a total weirdo who can't speak. He finally kinda started to get it. He felt bad, but he still thought his plan was brilliant. So, get this. An hour later, I get a text from an unknown number. It's Maya, one of the neighbors. She said Jackson gave her my number and apologized on his behalf for being a complete goober. She said they thought the whole thing was awkwardly hilarious and asked if I wanted a do-over. Without the weirdo stage manager? I almost said no, but then I figured, what's the worst that could happen? It can't get any more awkward than it already was. So I met up with them for coffee. And you know what? They're super cool. We spent the first 10 minutes just absolutely roasting Jackson. Chloe did an impression of my frozen, panicked face that was so accurate I was crying with laughter. Turns out they're both graphic designers and actually did think my style was cool. The second meeting was totally normal, fun, and had zero cringe. So the moral of the story is, my friend Jackson should be banned from ever playing matchmaker. But I guess, in the most chaotic and backward way possible, his terrible, horrible, no good, very bad plan kind of worked? I don't know. My brain still hurts.